Well, hello there. Excuse me, I just got a frog in my throat just as I was waiting for you. Well, I've had a lot of nice folks send me little encouraging notes and asking how I'm doing. And Grace contacted yesterday. She's like, "How are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm okay." She's like, "I really miss you," and I'm like, "I really miss you guys too." And I haven't been because we've just been so busy, and it's so much been going on that I haven't felt like I've been able to dedicate my time to the scripture study in order to justify coming online and saying hi. She said, "I don't care about that. I just miss you being there." And it's like, well, good. If that's okay, then I'm going to get on because I miss you guys too. I miss our time together. I miss our friendship. I miss our encouraging one another. And I don't have any amazing Bible studies to share right now. Just that I'm still here, I'm still kicking, and we're just working on this, just walking out life. Um, Last time we were here together was like in March. It was a long time ago. It was a long time ago. March, April, May, June, July, August. 5. It's almost been 6 months. And in that time, we have been camping. We bought a camper in like around February, I think it was. We bought a camper. So we've been camping each month, May, June, July, August. And we did 2 weeks in June and a week in each of the other months. And what else did we have going on? And a long arm quilting machine we bought with the intention of putting it in the basement. And it didn't fit in our basement. So we ended up putting it in the master bedroom and moving our bedroom out from where it was. We're no longer in the master bedroom. We put it in another bedroom, and that required rearranging our whole upstairs of our house, which took a couple months for us to sort out. And so the house, nothing has felt settled. Our house has felt unsettled, and going camping, just another thing on top. It Had we been planning all this out, we would not have planned two big things at the same time. I'm making black bean meatballs. I'll show you a picture. I just finished, my hands are dirty. I just finished rolling them, put in the oven. I found a recipe online. These are Shane and Simple. That's the guy, and that's his website. And I like a lot of his food. And I made a double batch, and I made it just a little different. I used my hamburger, instead of using 2 cans of black beans, I used 1 can of black beans and a cup and a half of my recipe of hamburger lentils. I just thought those would taste good in there. Could give it a little more texture and flavor. So I'm just popping I better set my timer because I'll forget, especially if we're chatting. Just a second. I set it for 22 minutes. I said 20 to 25. And they're supposed to come out a little bit crispy on the outside. We're leaving tomorrow to go to a family vacation in Chautauqua. Chautauqua, if you heard about Salman Rushdie getting stabbed, that was at Chautauqua, which is really freaky unusual because nothing ever happens there. This is a beautiful little closed community. And they hold summer programs there every year, and they've been doing it for like 150 years. This place has been around a long time, over 150 years. Was first set up as a camp to train Sunday school teachers, and over the years, it's become more of a vacation place. It's kind of like Disney World for grown-ups. Because they have all these speakers come in. It's Molly. Hi, Molly. I'm here. Yes, Grace was so good. Grace convinced me to come on. She said, "We don't care if you have teachings. We just want you to come on." I'm like, good, because I miss you guys. I wanted to be here. Yeah, I'm so happy to see you, too. Thanks for commenting. So I was telling about where we're going for vacation. We're going to Chautauqua. beautiful place. All the pretty houses and covered with, the gingerbread style houses with the trim. It has some modern homes in it too, but for the most part, it's all these old houses, and the place is really kept up. There's no rundown places in the here, and it's right on the lake. Every house isn't on the lake, but it's called the Chautauqua Institute, and it's, I don't know how big it is, a square mile, maybe 2 miles at the most. It does have its own post office, but there's no grocery store or anything like that. There's just this kind of like a gated community, but not quite. It's more than that. And so they have an opera house, they have dance, they bring in all sorts of performers over the course of the summer, jazz and symphonic music and speakers pertaining to current topics and science and social issues, political issues, religion, topic of religion. They'll bring in well-known speakers in their denomination or Christianity, um, and they have denomination houses. Now these are houses that are owned by a particular church. Like my mom's Methodist, so she's actually on the board of the Methodist Missionary House, Methodist Missions House, Missionary House, and they actually rent out rooms in this house to people who want to come and attend for the week. It's done in 1 week cycles. Each week is a different topic with different speakers and different classes you can go to. So typically, if you're going, you sign up for the week, and then you can stay either on the property or off the property. But if you stay on the property, you have to buy a gate pass for the whole week, which allows you to take part in whatever you want to go to. Once That's the part about like Disney World. You buy your gate pass and then you go to whatever you want. You can go to this speaker or that speaker or this class or that class, or you can go to the book club. They have a book club over the summer. Um, as a child, we would go on Sundays because we could attend the church service on Sunday for free. It's the one time you could get a free gate pass to go in. And my favorite part of going to Chautauqua, even as a child, was the area where they taught originally the Sunday school teachers, where they taught about the Holy Land. And they have carved in off of the lake there, off of Chautauqua Lake. They've brought the water in, kind of like digging a little trench, and have made that water recreate the water systems in the Holy Land, whether it's the river or the Dead Sea or the Red Sea, or, the different waterways. And then they carved the hills, just like the hills would be over there. And then the Sea of Galilee, they've carved that little Sea of Galilee in there. So there's water in it. And then, about how big? About 18 inches across. They have these concrete, or I don't know if they're concrete or metal, cast little cities. So, and it has the name of the city on it. So there's Bethlehem, there's Jerusalem, there's Damascus, and they have them placed where they would be placed. It's just like a really big map, okay? It's a really big map of the Holy Land, and you can walk from place to place over the course of about 90 to 100 feet, this total map is, and get a feel for, Jesus must have gone quite far if he was going to Damascus or wherever. And you can see the way the land is hilly over there. And I just always thought that was so neat to see the three-dimensional description of what the Holy Land is. So of Jesus' time. Okay. So that was my favorite part. And they have a real pretty big bell tower that plays bells every day at noon. They have modern things going on there now, and people own homes there. Typically the homes are passed down in their family because they're worth so much. They're just kept for generations. It's unusual for somebody to sell a property there. They're more apt to rent a room out in their property to let people use it than to get rid of it. Um, but anyhow, we are going there for a week of vacation, and the reason why we can afford to go is because the Chautauqua Institute season is over. They've had their last speakers. That was this last Saturday was their last day, and now it's considered off season. And off season is much cheaper because they're not bringing in performers or speakers, and now it's just people who just live there. And the house we've rented is the Methodist house, and I forget how many bedrooms. It must have it has 8 bedrooms because it sleeps 16. Each bedroom has 2 twins in it. And in each bedroom has its own bathroom, full bathroom, which is nice. And so as a family, we're going, and the kids can get rooms and the adults have rooms and all these rooms upstairs. Huge house. And what we're planning, and we had to tell my mom because we couldn't keep it a secret, which is okay because now she's excited about it too. I'm a quilter, my husband's a quilter, my mother's a quilter. I'm the one who got my mom interested in quilting 30 years ago. And she's been a very prolific quilter, has gifted many quilts, has made hundreds. Well, anyhow, we've collected over 50 of her best quilts, and we're putting on a one-woman quilt show at the Chautauqua Institute this weekend. Sunday afternoon, we are going to be displaying all these quilts all over this big house that we're staying in. And we've been able to borrow the quilt racks from the local quilt guild that my mom belongs to, but I've belonged to it now too. I joined it with her last year. And they gave us permission to use these quilt racks. We're going to put them on the front porch, and there's a big room inside that could be used as a chapel, or it's just a big room. We're going to display more quilts in there, and we'll be having them hang off the railings of the porch. The porch is huge. You just can't even imagine how big a porch it is. It's huge. I don't know. It's probably 60 feet long. I don't know, 50 feet long, 40. I don't know. It's long, 40 feet long. And we'll be able to display we believe all 56 quilts that we've collected. We've got a website. One of our sons made a website. He connected it to my website, and at some point I'll be able to put a link out there for you to go see it. I want to do a video of the show. Please join me in praying for good weather. We just don't need it raining on the quilts. I don't care if it's dreary looking, but we don't need rain. What else is going on? Our family's going to help with that. And that's just a nice way to honor my mom. We're calling it Loving Stitches. And it's just a testimony to Mom and how she's not only been an avid quilter, and she does a nice job, but also her generosity, because she's given so many away, and she volunteers all the time. She volunteers at her local museum a couple days a week, and she volunteers by sewing quilts, comfort quilts, and she also knits these cute little dollies that are given away to children in other countries where they need to kind of encourage the children to get their shot or get their teeth checked or whatever. Then they're given one of these little dollies as an incentive. You do that, you can pick out a dolly that you want. And she's made like 2,500 of these little dollies. So this is us as a family saying thank you to my mother, Louise Quick, and honoring her. So, and she's 89. She's gonna be 90 this year. So, we can't wait too much longer. She's still going good, but every day is a gift, and you just don't know how many more you're gonna have. So I'm glad we can do this for her right now. What else is going on? In February, I think it started in March with a UTI, then another one in April, and another one in May. And then I skipped May and had other problems. And then July, and then it was like just one UTI or vaginal infection after another. It just was exhausting and frustrating because I had no clue as to what was causing it or why, and just going to the doctor. They're like, "Well, try this and try that." And I did try a probiotic, which initially was helpful. It helped with the female discomfort, but it caused the side effects were causing me problems. It caused me to become very, very constipated to the point where I just couldn't go. And after 4 days, I started vomiting because nothing was going through. That's not good. And I had quit taking the probiotic at that point, but when I quit taking it is when it caused all the symptoms, all the female symptoms to come back. So it was just like, ugh. So I just happened to have heard about a doctor. His name is Dr. Will Bulsiewicz. He's a gastroenterologist who specializes in teaching good gut health, how to have a healthy gut. I wouldn't have considered listening to him except for all of a sudden I had this issue of going on with the constipation and having been on antibiotics for 5 months. It's like, I think I need to help myself. I need to do the most I can do, whatever that is. So I took a 7-week master's class, which just ended a week ago. So that's another thing that's been busy. A 7 weeks master class on gut health with Dr. Will Bulsiewicz. He only offers the course once a year. And a lot of homework, a lot of work. Very, very interesting. He has 2 books out now, but the better of the 2 books, if you're interested, would be his fiber-fueled cookbook. Even though it says cookbook, it actually takes all the information you need and it makes it more concise. And so each chapter has to do with another understanding or issue with the gut and how to deal with it. And then here's some recipes. So it's educational. If you want lots and lots of science, go with just the fiber fueled book by Will Bulsiewicz. If you want a more concise reading and understanding, and you don't need all the science, you just need to tell me what to do, go with the fiber fueled cookbook. Because that one, and both have recipes. I take that back. I don't know if the first one does. I forget. Because that one I listened to, but the second one I purchased. And oh, in fact, I have it. Hang on. Here it is. Fiber Fueled Cookbook by Will Bulsiewicz. You can see I've got lots of markers in it. And I'll hold that there a little bit longer. But he teaches in each chapter and then gives you some recipes. And it's all whole food plant-based. He himself, this is, the best doctors to help you are the ones who've had the health problems themselves and then said, I need to find a solution. And I forget how he ended up finding out what a difference plants make, but he ended up learning things, of course, that he didn't learn in school. And that is what it all has to do with the gut biome, which is really interesting, that everything in our gut has to do with the biome. It has to do with how we digest food. It has to do with how we absorb food. It has to do with our health issues, and all, if you are tendencies towards heart issues or liver issues or family history, diabetes, cancer, all that stuff. The gut biome has a whole lot to do with that. And your biome reflects how you eat. So if you eat a lot of meat, you're going to have a gut biome that reflects that you're feeding the biome that goes with meat. Whereas if you eat more plant-based, you're going to have a biome that reflects eating plant-based. And you think, well, that makes sense, and it does make sense. However, the biome that supports a meat diet is not as healthy as a biome that supports a plant diet. Because the best foods for a healthy gut and for a healthy body are foods that have fiber in them, naturally have fiber in them. And the foods that most naturally have fiber are all plant foods. Every plant food has fiber in it. Everyone, even iceberg lettuce. You think the iceberg lettuce does not have many redeeming properties, but it's still a plant, which means it's still going to help your body. And what he has found the most interesting after doing a whole lot of research was that it's what will result in the healthiest gut biome. The healthiest gut is your diversity of plants, the broader variety of plants. And we don't just mean leafy greens. We mean all vegetables, all fruits, all grains, all beans, all nuts and seeds, and sea vegetables or seaweeds, depends what you want to call them. And they all contribute. Oh, and herbs, fresh herbs, okay? They all contribute to a healthier gut biome. So you just eat a good broad diet. Now, I had been doing that. So I was starting to get discouraged when I took this course. I was about 5 weeks into it, and I'm like, I've been doing all this. I've been eating this way for years. And it wasn't, I still ended up with all these infections and still ended up with high blood pressure and, these things. And it's been frustrating. And then he finally got to the part in the course that I found I could glean information that I needed. And that was, and don't take probiotics. Probiotics actually, which I found out that's how what got me in the course was taking probiotics that caused me problems. He said probiotics will actually compete with your own natural gut biome. Everybody has a very unique gut biome just for their own body. And when you take a capsule of something which has billions of 1 or 2 or 3, even just 10 kinds of strains in it, and there's billions, he says that's actually very hard on your gut, on your own biome. He said you're better off feeding your own biome and encouraging it to be healthier. So the way you do that is eating a high fiber diet by eating foods that are fermented. So we're talking yogurts. I've found an almond-based yogurt that I like. It's called Kite Hill. And I eat a little bit of that a couple times a day, just a couple spoonfuls. Kimchi, fermented kimchi, which is kind of like an Asian sauerkraut. And then fermented sauerkraut, not the kind you get in a can. It's got to be in the refrigerator section of your store because it's fermented. Once they can it, they've killed all the good stuff in there. So do the stuff in the refrigerator section, the sauerkraut. So I have a fork full of or 2 of that a day, like with lunch and dinner. And that is helping. And then something that's called a prebiotic. And a prebiotic is a fiber supplement. And there's acacia powder, psyllium husk. I forget the names of the other ones. He listed like five different ones that you would consider a supplemental fiber. But he said all that takes a back seat to a good diet. He said you'll never heal your gut taking supplements. The only thing that heals your gut is a good diet, which is a high fiber diet. So that's what I'm working on. Right now I'm working on the yogurt and miso. Miso is good too. Yogurt and miso seem to be the 2 things I tolerate the best right now. I tried that acacia powder and I blew up like I was 9 months pregnant. I was like, just, oh my goodness. My tummy just bloated. So I was like, okay, I think it's too soon for me to be working on that one. I'm going to have to put that on the back burner and work on these other ones. I do okay with psyllium husk and I do okay with the yogurt and the miso. So those are the things I'm working on. I'll work on those for a couple more weeks. Then I'll try introducing something else. His thing he says over and over and over is to go low and slow. So you take just a little bit, a 1/4 teaspoon of psyllium husk, See how you handle it. Mix it into something and drink it, or put it in applesauce and eat it, something like that. Start with just a little bit. See how you handle it. Start with a little bit of yogurt, see how you handle it. And that's what I've been doing, and I'm up to, like I said, a couple tablespoons now of yogurt and 2 forkfuls of sauerkraut and a half a teaspoon of psyllium husk, and I'm gonna run that up a little bit. And this is another thing that I thought was really interesting. I learned this early in the course. He really focused on constipation because he said people have food sensitivities because they're constipated. He said if you can get rid of your constipation, you're more likely to get rid of your food sensitivities, which I thought was very interesting. Now, I don't consider myself as having constipation, and I don't consider myself as having food sensitivities, but I do know I have a system that can be a little touchy at times. And if it is going to have issues, constipation is the direction that it goes in. It never goes the other way. So I thought that was interesting, and that was good to know. It's been, my meatballs have already baked all this time already. I've got to check my meatballs here. Ooh, those look good. I'm going to give them a couple more minutes. They're not quite crispy yet. Okay. Just a minute. All right, 3 more minutes. So, but the important thing is to take care of constipation. And one of the easiest ways this was interesting too. You don't treat constipation with fiber. Not initially. He said you've got to take care of the constipation first. Then you can maintain it with fiber. But you're not going to be able to fix it with fiber if you're having lots of problems in that area. And one of the things that really worked well for a lot of people is magnesium, and specifically either magnesium citrate or magnesium, forget the other one, not oxide, although that would do it too. That can be really hard on the gut. But magnesium citrate, take it at bedtime. And there's Teresa. Hi, Teresa. So I am taking magnesium at bedtime. I used to just take magnesium anyhow. I know I just don't eat enough greens. I knew I needed magnesium, so I would put it the kind that you can put in your water and drink. And it never did anything for my digestive tract. But if I take magnesium at bedtime, I know that boom, in the morning, I'm going to go. And that's a nice feeling to have, is to know that everything's back to normal. And because like I said, we've been camping a lot this summer. I don't know what to call it, a shy bowel. It does not like to go in places it's not comfortable. It does not like to go camping. It does not like to go in public restrooms. And so I can end up having issues when we travel because it's like, this isn't home. I don't feel comfortable going here. And it's like my head's saying, this is fine. Just go, just go, just go. But my bottom refuses. Okay. So I said, okay, we're going to get on top of this. So I started taking magnesium before we went camping, just kind of ease into it. And I had no issues with camping. It was wonderful to be able to stay regular and on my normal habit. And even though I'm home now, I'm continuing to take it because it is really nice to be able to just anticipate and have an easy elimination. We'll call it that. Okay. And not have to think about it. It's not a big deal. I know when I used to work, it was tough because my body likes to go twice a day and it wants to go when it wants to go, not when I'm telling it has to go. Like, come on, I've got to leave the house here in 5 minutes. And it's like, nope, sorry, you're in a hurry. I can't go right now. And then I'd be miserable all day because I wouldn't be able to go at work because that was a public place and my body said it wasn't going to do that. And then I'd come home and be miserable because I needed to make up for lost time. So it's nice to have something that kind of helps keep things regular. Okay, that was magnesium citrate. And everybody needs a different amount. You need what you need. You start out with 1 capsule. And then if that doesn't do it, then you go to 2. And if that doesn't do it, you go to 3. You take what you need. All right. Let's see how those meatballs look. Yeah, those look good. See? I don't know if they're crispy enough. If they're crispy, they'd be crispy. They don't quite feel crispy. All right, I'm gonna get just a couple more minutes. We're taking our grandkids with us tomorrow. Two of the three grandkids are going with us tomorrow, and they like spaghetti and meatballs. So I broke down. And bought some frozen beef meatballs because I know they'll eat them, and I'm just gonna make a vat of meatballs with sauce, and they're in the refrigerator. And if you're hungry, go eat some meatballs because I don't, you know, I'm very content cooking our good food that we like. I'm making the meatballs for us, the bean meatballs, but I just can't knock myself out to try to make them love everything that we like. You know, they're either going to like it or they're not. And I don't want to have to be making gourmet meals in hopes that they're going to like them. I'm done with that. Done with that because they usually don't like them anyway because they don't eat that at home. So I was like, you know what? I just can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. So here's your vat of meatballs. We all can eat noodles. I get gluten-free ones. That's okay. And we'll take it from there. If they want some of our meatballs, it's fine. But I know that they're not going to starve to death. And if they need something to eat, they can go eat a meatball. And I got them peanut butter and jelly. And because they really don't eat, she doesn't eat vegetables or anything like that. Just a little bit of fruit. So I always make my granddaughter try something new when she's with us. She always has to try something new. But when she was younger, she was a little more willing. Now that she's getting older, she's getting a little more stubborn about it. But I can't change their life in the 2 or 3 days that we have them. I need for us all to enjoy ourselves. And I don't want them to think, oh, I don't want to go to grandma's because I hate her food all the time. That's no fun. I want them to have a nice time too. And I bought books. I always bring books for the kids. New books. They get books that they can keep. And we've got puzzles. We like to do puzzles, and we're hoping to play some games. And we've got Mom's Quilt Show going on. Oh, and there's a really nice town pool just down the street from my mother's. My mother doesn't live far from where we're going. And so I'm hoping I can take the kids over to the town pool for a while because they love playing in the pool. There is like a fitness place there in Chautauqua that you can belong to. And I called to see if we're there for the week, could we get like a mini membership or something so that we could bring the grandkids over? And they said, oh, you can just pay us. It's just, if you want to go swimming, it's $8 a person. I said, oh, okay. So we can just come for the day and play. Oh no, that's for 55 minutes per person, $8. It's like, well, I'm not spending $48 for Chris and the 4 grandkids and me to go swimming in a pool for not even a whole hour, for Pete's sake. That's ridiculous. So my mom's pool, I think it's $1 at the town pool. And we can go there for $1 and you can stay as long as you want. That's what we're going to do. Oh, and there's a real cute little park there. There's a cute park on Chautauqua Lake. It's not part of the Institute. It's called Midway. And it's very old-fashioned. It's actually been taken over by the New York State Park System. It's like this little old-fashioned amusement park from days gone by. My mom went there as a kid. I went there as a kid. Our kids went there, and now our grandchildren are going there. And they have a beautiful merry-go-round and the little cars that go in a circle and the little boats that go in a circle and the little rockets that go in a circle. And they don't have the swings on the chains. Years ago, they've taken that down. They used to have that. At least, or do they still have that? I don't know. I guess we'll see when we go. I forget if they still have that or not. And they've taken down the little roller coaster they used to have. Really little. It was smaller than our house. I mean, that's a small roller coaster. they have this cute little train that goes all the way around, that's big enough for adults to sit in. The kids that go on the train, and they one of my favorite rides as a kid, between the merry-go-round and the hand cars. You sat in it looked like a little wagon. You sat in this little wagon, but you went on the track with your hands. So they had a little train track you went on, but you pedaled it with your hands. Oh, I thought that was fun. So let's see what people are saying. There's Sherry. She says, "Hi there. Great to see you." Well, it's nice to see you too. And Teresa says, "Say a prayer for me in teaching a class that's challenging. I want them to learn and get good evaluations." Yes, I understand that completely. So we will. Let's do that right now. Heavenly Father, we want to lift Teresa up to you because of her teaching, Lord. And she's looking to do a good job. She wants everybody to learn. So, Lord, we pray that you would give them ears to hear and eyes to see and minds to understand what she's teaching. And I pray, Lord, that you would speak through her and give her wisdom, give her discernment, and help her to be a good teacher. And I pray for your blessing upon their class in Jesus' name. Amen. So, what kind of class is it that you're teaching? Maybe you could, it'd be nice to hear about. What I've been doing, is my purse over here? No, it's not. You know what a bad habit it is to reach and just grab your phone. It's a horrible habit for me. Horrible. And I hate that thing. I have a real love-hate relationship with my phone. Oh, nursing. Oh, that's interesting, Teresa. Yeah, we need them to hear, don't we? So I have now one of those little pocket Bibles. It's actually a New Testament, Psalms, and Proverbs. So it doesn't have the whole Old Testament. It just has Psalms, Proverbs, and all of the New Testament. But it's the same size as my phone. And what I try to do is, instead of grabbing my phone, because I'm used to grabbing that thing and looking at it, I try to grab my Bible, especially if I have pockets. I love having pockets, so I'll put it in my pocket, take it out, and I'll look at that instead. And it's a really good habit. And I need to do it even more because I want to be reading God's word more than I want to be looking at my phone. And so far, I have not succeeded in doing that, but I am working on it. And I figure the potential is much greater if I pull that out and look at it than if I'm just looking at my phone all the time, right? Therapeutic communication right now. Wow. Wow. That sounds like a good class. Well, I've been yapping on here long enough. This is almost 38 minutes now. So I'm going to scoot because I got to keep packing. I haven't packed my clothes yet. And I'm taking my sewing machine and some things I've cut out. I want to do some sewing with my other grandchildren that are coming. They're a little bit older. And so I've made, I take that back. The ones I'm taking with me tomorrow are older. I'm going to be doing sewing with them. It's the younger ones that are coming that I'm doing other stuff with. So I've made like 2 little kits of stuff that I can sew with the older kids. And then when everybody's together, we'll all go to the pool and do stuff like that. So, and my mom goes with us. We have one son and his fiance that aren't coming yet. They're not comfortable leaving home just yet. So they're not joining us. So we will miss them very much. We will miss them very much. Yeah, and that's everybody. So the 2 sons, their wives, and their 2 kids, my husband, me, and my mom. So that'll be good. So I look forward to talking to you again soon. Just, let's renew our friendship here and just get caught up with each other, and we'll let the Lord lead as he may. I just know I've missed talking to you, and I think of you almost daily in terms of like, oh, what could I talk about? But let's just talk. And we'll pray as the need arises. All right. Thank you for being here. So nice to see you. And just so nice to see y'all. We'll see you again. No promises. I have no idea when I'll be back. Like I said, we're going on vacation. So maybe next week. I'll try and get on here next week and we'll just say hi. Okay? Oh, hi, Karen. Nice to see you too. All right. Talk to you later. Bye bye.